The Morning Center is designed to provide free Christ-centered maternity care to women who need it.
The vision of the Morning Center is to go into urban areas in the United States. There's over 275 cities in the United States that have over 100,000 people. And those are the cities that we're targeting to go into and to lavish the love of Christ on the women in need.
We want to do this through a patient-centered, Christ-honoring approach that takes into account the needs of the mother and the life of the child.
Providing free maternity care in a Christ-centered manner will actually allow us to take away one of the excuses that women often give for why abortion needs to remain legal, and also allow us a chance to love not just the child in the situation, but the mother as well. Thank you for joining me for this announcement. It's at this point in time that I'm happy to announce the location of the very first Morning Center. We're doing something a little differently than I've talked to you about before, and we're going to actually start with what we're going to call the Morning Center Mobile Care Unit. The Morning Center Mobile Care Unit will allow us to get up and running much more quickly and allow us to give maternity care to women who need it in their neighborhoods. The Morning Center Mobile Care Units are designed to provide a prenatal visit in the woman's neighborhood, make it much more accessible for her. We can take all of the equipment necessary for a first-class prenatal visit up through and including an ultrasound machine and get that into a mobile unit and bring it out and give her a visit on site somewhere within walk-in distance of her own home. We still have plans to open up a hospital. We'll talk about that later. But first and foremost, I'm going to announce 3 cities where we're going to be placing the very first Morning Center mobile care units. And for those cities, we've selected Indianapolis, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Memphis, Tennessee.
Indianapolis is a city where the crisis pregnancy centers are doing a really good job, and it's a city where they have a good climate for something like this. Memphis is a city where we can impact 3 different states at one time. There's just a growing, bubbling and exciting community, pro-life community there. And Charlotte is another city where the local community support has just been amazing. They understand the vision of what we want to do. It's going to be a perfect place to take the mobile units in.
All 3 of these cities have varying degrees of need, varying degrees of desire, but they all have one thing in common, and that's a local community of Christians who are committed to life and committed to reaching out to reach the inner city poor. Our timeline also includes us planning ahead during 2012 and 2013 so we can get more mobile units up and running as quickly as possible after that, even while planning out our 2nd and 3rd hospital. We're very excited about these first mobile units coming in Charlotte and in Indianapolis and in Memphis, but we don't want to stop there. We want to be working toward the future until we can provide this quality of care to inner city women all across the country. The project we're talking about isn't free. It's not going to come without some cost. We're going to have to raise funds. And many people think that it may even be unwise to do something like this at a time of a recession where funds are at an all-time low. See, that's because we look at things backwards. We need to look about the fact that God is able to create anything He wants out of nothing. We need the prayer that you can provide, because if Jesus Christ does not bless this project, it won't go anywhere.
You can't execute a vision if you don't have the resources to do it.
Right now, the church in America, I think, has a very small idea of the resources of God. God will provide for every bit of ministry that we can dream up. Just because He's forcing us to trust Him for every last dollar for the ministry that we have now doesn't mean that He won't provide for a much bigger dream when we ask Him. So how can people help? Well, the first thing is stay informed. Follow us on Facebook. Get on our email distribution list so you can receive our weekly newsletter. The second thing is we're looking for people to share their talents. We want to find trained professionals, people who are excited about ministry.
You can do that at facebook.com/morningcenter. You can do it at morningcenter.org.
But the last thing you can do is you can pray. We need prayer warriors who are out there undergirding this project with their prayers, because if Jesus is not behind this, project will not go anywhere.